good morning. Welcome to the Rock Show here. Tune your guitars, put on your favorite band shirt, and turn it up to 11. Welcome to your Guilty Gear Strive Top 24 here at Slashback 2025. Of course, I'm Shaw, hailing from Seattle, and we have man, I hope you know who this is, Kizzy K. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? It's good to be here. Thank you so much for having me here at Slashback 2025. I'm super excited to see what the competitive is going to be looking like, what the competitor is going to be looking like, actually. You know, we got a new patch. Well, I would say it's still fairly kind of new, you know, because
it's simmering.
Yeah, and I think people are kind of like figuring out the characters that they're going to be locking in with. So we're going to be seeing a couple of those characters as well. We're also going to see a lot of specialists coming up for the top 24. So I'm really hoping to see that they showcase what they've been cooking with I guess, versus all the big guys, right? All the big characters like Potemkin and things like that. I'm looking forward to see what the specialist is going to showcase, because I'm always a fan of the specialists, you know what I mean? The guys that nitty-gritty break down all the things they can, you know, get a little salty, you know, all the love, all the vibe, just to try to figure out what's going to be coming through, you know? So I'm super excited for that. We got two of our competitors here, and you know, a lot of people have been talking like, oh man, this game is very matchup heavy. And it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of characters that are in a weird spot where like they have like this door of being like some of the most like strong characters that we've ever seen. And Testament is one of those characters. I think they are one of those characters that people don't really like fully understand the strength of this character yet. Like it's very surface level how good it is, but how you applicate it versus like the nature of the game is very, very important. I think people haven't cracked the code yet, but who knows? We might have to get this right now.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're okay. Butt check. Okay, yeah. Butt check. But of course, we got Simple Kai and MJ Kurase here. Now, of course, Simple Kai winning very recently the fight series, getting first in there. And yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying about Testament 2. And I think there's one little change that we got in Season 4 is the fact that the frontal hurt box on Grave Reaper is kind of not there anymore. Yeah. So that one little change changed the dynamics in a lot of matchups for this character. Makes you a little more consistent. Of course, Johnny, we have some specialists here, and this character has been eating over time. Yeah. I mean, he's got a Street Fighter V dash, man.
Yeah, he definitely has a Street Fighter V dash. We could call him Nash if you want to give the example for that, right?
Real.
So we got he has a great dash. But the thing is about it, I think with the hurt box changes that Testament got, they can really shut down the dashing very effectively. And I think the player just has to use a lot of more finer. But if the Testament player kind of adapts to that and starts dash blocking, the finer becomes weaker. So they have to be very good at like mixing that up if they want to beat a character like Johnny.
All right, well, early burst already gone from Simple Kai here. Going to be locking it down. That's one of the best strengths about Testament 2 is you're able to lock down Johnny like you're mentioning here. Yeah. But MJ Kurase throw out the card, getting caught already. We're already breaking the glass. Yeah. Wakey, get some tension.
Yep, Kurase already establishing the misfighter game plan already, controlling the mid-range really well. Got the easy wall break right now. And this offense of pressure is about to be very, very obnoxious because Testament has no reversal options.
Okay, nice block on the overhead vault in red RC, and there's another grab. Yeah, you're so scared of the card that it does open you up to a lot more grabs. The double overhead, crazy blocks, but you do get caught on the tech.
Yeah, like they said, man, all good things come to an end, and that defense was very incredible. But unfortunately, with the dash layers that they had, was able to cut that off real quick.
I like the distance we're playing at here. Yep, throw out the Grave Reaper. Now this is where we're going to start shining here. Throw out some Arbiter signs.
Very nice teleport. That was so good. I really like that they kind of used that to evade what Kurase wanted to do. And now they got this really good tempo right now to get the corner carry into the wall break. Not going to get the hard knockdown, but you know, this is good for damage and control.
BRC4, yeah, very classic thing here that a lot of players do after the wall break just to steal some turns. And MJ Kurase, you know, he likes a little bit of thievery here, a little bit of robbery. Let's see if we can get more of it.
Yeah, right now, I just kind of want to throw fireballs, kind of teleport. Make sure you're not in the corner. Really good forward slash right there. Just keeping Johnny at bay. And, like, even though Johnny has a great mid-range, in this matchup, I feel like Johnny wants to play a little bit more close. Don't play the mid-range too much, too much as he needs to, you know? So now that he got really close in this situation, you know, he's going to try to get that close range. But that was a great punish right there. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I can see kind of the gears turning. MJ Kurase is trying to bait out another throw tech because of, like, the first match. Nice PRC just to avoid the overdrive. And now MJ Kurase have meters vault in an RC.
Wow, that was a very good 6P. Knocked it full screen through the card. Wasn't able to kind of extend the pressure to keep it safe. But this situation right here is going to get the wall break. I think he's going to go for super right now to get the hard knockdown. Yes?
Yes. Put the initials on him.
Yeah.
The J, you know what it is.
Shoot the J.
Capital.
Nice. Got the hard knockdown now. What they going to do with this right now?
Ooh, that was sneaky, okay.
I think they were trying to catch the backdash. I think that was the call of the backdash. That was very crafty, very cheeky. I really like that option. Kept that safe.
Yeah, that's the second time that it hasn't really worked for Karase. Karase still just getting snowed out.
That combo off the fireball, too. The 6P and the Grave Reaper actually comboed together on top of the Nito. That was actually so sick. That was so sick.
Yeah, Simpukai one to be looking out for this weekend for sure. I want to see Karase adapt to. He's had a couple of good, brilliant moments getting in here, but it seems so hard to deal with Simpukai. Hey, early burst gone. Here we go.
Very nice control, using the fire, using the bird to kind of play. That was a great 6P to kind of intercept whatever button they were trying to press right there.
Now we're mixing in the teleports here. Throwing MJ off his kilter, but here comes MJ. Throw down the car, yeah, and wait for the backdash attempt. I liked it. And the full conversion off the overhit here. Feel like it once, you're going to see it again.
Yes. Shoot the J. Boom. Slow down.
And put the card out,
yeah. Try to keep it safe. Definitely got 100 meters, so you don't want to kind of play and get hit up by a super and take so much damage. So this is probably the best scenario that it could have took, rather than just taking a super RC into full corner into death. So let's see what they do on Wake Up. Oh, they committed.
Safe jump. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Simpukai on the verge of potentially getting a second one here. I want to see a little bit more from, Karase. Maybe, it's a little bit early. Okay, that's a good start. Start losing that dash.
Wow. They're really trying to hard call how they're trying to play defense to the point that they betted on gold burst. Really trying to find a way how to break the defense right now. Simpukai is definitely just holding their ground really, really well. It's very impressive, especially with an impressive character like Johnny.
Yeah, kind of turn things on its head, right? Went from like a kind of a zoning game here, and now in like the later half of this round, started to have a little bit more pressure, be a little bit more aggressive. So we're trying to meet fire at fire with a teleport. That's extinguishing your fire right now. We're gonna bring out the Succubi.
Yeah. And it's crazy because Kurosake is moving quite a lot, being very, very antic. And the teleports are like catching like the timing right when Kurosake is like moving, and Simpukai is taking a lot of advantage and a lot of momentum from those teleports.
We do have a lot of attention, of course. The BRC into the gulp.
Yeah, we just talked about that 100-meter scenario, and it came into fruition, unfortunately, when you needed it the most. And Simpukai keeping the cards, hiding the cards, playing very, very good poker, I would like to say.
Playing Blastro.
Yeah, playing Blastro,
Oh. The only joker here is Johnny here trying to move right back in. Of course, that teleport to get the positioning. And I think that's what Simpukai has been valuing the whole entire match, is that positioning here. So he can get this wall break here and run up. Ooh, the immediate vault, okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, got the super out. Was able to block it. This is still bad for Simpukai because they're still in the corner, and Johnny still got 50 meter right now to work with, and a lot of good plus frames.
We're blocking out the risk. He is starting to pump a little bit here. Does get caught with the misfire. The defense is still looking good there on Simpukai's side. Really mitigating this damage, but not for long. How long? Getting cracked open. Oh my God.
Air throw. That might have cost him the
Oh
game
my
right
God,
there.
the patience worked out so immaculate.
This might cost him the game. Okay, that was good. Now they both had no meter. But if Simpukai would have kept playing that very well, they would have had 50 meter just to kind of work with there. But Kurosake was trying. I gotta end this game right now before you get the resources.
Okay, I'm really liking how proactive the Simpukai is playing. Yeah, it does end up getting them a lot more meter, which they save for at the kind of end of the round to be a little bit more clutch here. MJ Karase able to get a neutral jump here, puts down the card, catches another backdash attempt. Simpukai been going for that defensive option a ton of times.
Yeah, I had to early kind of get that preemptive burst out of the way, but I guess it's not so bad, especially when you have that round. You got a round up to kind of work with, but man, this damage and this tempo swing is about to be very, 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 very rough. But, not a lot of damage in terms of, like, could have been worse, right?
Right.
Still got meter to work with, but got hit with the stray forward slash. Now we're going to go to match point for Simpukai.
Okay, we're knocking on the door here. Let's see what the answer is. The immediate anti-air and Senga, you'll love to see it. 6B as well. The antis are starting to come out from NJ. Oh, he's going to bowl it very well. Teleport in.
Import arrow off the raw stage right there. Definitely cost them of having that corner position right now, and they definitely don't want to be there. Want to immediately try to get close as possible. You can tell Kurosage is not comfortable in playing at that far range.
Yeah, the overdrive has been like 0-3.
Yes.
And that exact same scenario here. So I think it's time to adopt a better strategy. And you know what the strategy is? Is put it on a ton of damage, shoot another J here, and of course get around. Yep. Wow, the scaling on that.
Yeah, it was Wild Assault. Wild still scaled it a lot, but I'm very surprised. This is actually an even life bar if this
real.
Oh, just like that. Just good teleport.
It could just happen.
Yeah.
Stay. Pop the Succubi one more time. Bring in the assist. And he's going to get burst right here, though, and he's going to use it.
Oh, he's going to... Oh, he got chipped out.
The dome piece, blessed.
Man, that was really crazy. So, like I said, what I've been saying, Simple Kai has been really calling out Kurosage's preemptive movement. Not like I would say Kurosage is moving with purpose, but it's being very, 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 very telegraphic when they're moving with with no intentions, right? So when they teleport, they've been getting caught a lot just by the raw teleports. And I wonder if Kurosage is going to like make an adjustment to that, because I think that's going to be the make or break if Simple Kai wins this or not.
I'm still so impressed by how like Simpu is able to still like be so patient and work out for them in terms of just turning, reversing everything on their side here, keeping MJ once more in the corner. MJ trying for another neutral jump that worked before. Okay, finally the card does work out. Okay, try to fall back once again. Simple Kai, his back dash should just keep on working for him.
Oh, see, just like that. Now you're in the corner. This is really bad for Kurosage.
Yeah, it's just like you said, the teleport has been so potent here. This is close.
This is terrible. This is so terrible because now you got to take all that extra damage and you're staying, and they get a hard knockdown. This is a terrible situation to be in right now.
Okay, YRC spent.
Wow.
And Senga. Wow, what a play there from NJ Karase. Okay, just a little bit of damage left. Pixel. Oh. Wow, there it is, staying alive here for another round.
Yeah, I think Simple Kai used the meter a little bit too early. I think they could have held it just a little bit more to kind of get into a good checkmate scenario or check situation. But I think they were just in their nerves, and they just was like, I just got to try something really, really bad. And they desperately really wanted that round, and it did not pay off at all. Kind of what Kurosage wanted to get off of that. And wow, that was a great, great bait off the burst right there. Dropped the combo, didn't get the wall splat, unfortunately.
And I think that's where we're going to see more of that going on, especially if we get to that last hit scenario again. Simple Kai is probably going to go for baiting out those resources once more. If we get to even to there, MJ Grassi guy in the corner, counter hit and Senga.
Yeah, this is bad. A lot of damage off that. Really getting called out on a lot of the throws. It's been like a big MVP in the set.
Hey, the answer was drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Run up, drink.
Yeah, so that was a really quick adjustment. I think Kurosage is definitely knowing that they don't want to take the throw. So they are getting a lot of scenario off, like preemptive throws, of fear. I mean, Johnny's movement is incredible, but you got to understand, because he has a dash, you got to utilize the jump sometimes too. You don't always have to try to call out getting out of the scenario, but rather just blocking the scenario and hoping to try again the next time. Nice teleport there, out of the corner. This is really, really good. Just really playing very, very like slimy. You know, very slimy. It's very hard to catch them. But you know, Kurosage caught him a couple of times. But I swear, Simple Kai makes it very, very hard just to always be like comfortable of how he's going to defend.
Right now, Simple Kai making it look easy. YRC does work out for MJ Karate this time. Finally catches the backdash to be putting down the card. I'm not sure what that overdrive is. We spent a lot of meteor just to get out of dodge and gets caught there. Hey, nice wait.
Oh, no, that was a very poor fireball in that situation. Just being in a bad scenario and not being in a good scenario, and all that life you had, that was a huge risk, and Kurosage just took advantage of that, and now is at match point. Simple Kai was definitely at match point, and just been kind of like crumbling a little bit. I'm wondering if they're just really getting overwhelmed by just Johnny in general. But they have so much control of the neutral, you know. I just think that they got to, you know, play it very slow. You know, kind of like slow it down a little bit. You don't got to overextend all the time. You know, just kind of play a little slow. But, you know, this is working out right now, taking advantage of that confirm and getting the super right now. And I'm curious what they're going to use with the stain.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job controlling the tempo. We're going to see the same overdrive one more time. Of course, you like it, you see one more. And let's see, get the safe jump here. Whoa, just a tap. Okay, just prodding for the YRC. I think they had the idea. They're just a little bit slow on it. We've been in the same situation before, Kizzy.
Yeah. I mean, we know Kurosage is very comfortable in this situation. You know, coming back is something that they always...
Last round?
Yeah.
Here we are, 2-2 apiece. Both got burst on the same side. Let's see who's the early burster here.
Okay. Oh, nice. Using Wild Assault right here. Not paying off right now. This is not a really, really bad scenario. This could be worse, but this scenario right here is going to be very, very terrible.
The defense has been working out there for Sipikai. It continues to work out. Of course, as I say that, TK Mistfinder comes right through already. Got some early tension here, early positive. I'm not sure what the vault was about, but now you kind of put yourself in a dire situation. That's not good. Simpukai going to start reversing the whole thing around here.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, having so much of a life lead right there and just betting it all on super, and now you're in a bad situation. You know, sometimes I wonder, like, what solution are they looking for in those scenarios, you know? Especially having such a great advantage.
See, now you can kind of go back to the whole zoning game and use these teleports here. The stuff you valued early on into the match, and I think
they took the burst. That was so smart. I think they got one more chance.
Oh, yep, the scaling does come through one more time here. Let's see how they kind of run up. This time going to be, okay, the flex shield come out. We haven't seen that whole entire game here. This is so tense.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of meter they got to work with. Oh, good call on the backdash. There you go. Oh, try to jump it there and block.
Oh, wow. Man, the homie popping off in the back. Man, and it was really the backdash there that kind of was spelled doom for them. It was really the bane for their kind of existence there. But what a close game. That was only our first match. We got a banger like that.
Yeah, that was actually incredible. And like I said, like, there's a lot of scenarios that really happen that you just be like, oh man, like they have such a great control in the scenario, and I think that they just really like kind of got in their nerves. You know, they started really like, you know, making uncharacteristic decisions at those moments, especially of all the great things that they were doing. It's like a lot of greatness, and then it's like, oh, what happened there, you know? And I know that nerves and a lot of like a stack of what's going on can really affect people's decisions. But, you know, these guys won before. You know, these guys definitely won before. I know they have that killer mentality. You know, they got to be more strong in terms of those scenarios. But I got to say, that was still such a great match.
I think you put a good point, a killer mentality here. And that's something that's not really taught, right?
Yeah.
Like, is to have that, you need that to play in a tournament here. Nobody is your friend in bracket. You have to put that out of your mind. And of course, one thing that's also not really taught is how to play on stage, right? It's a little bit different. When you get on that zone here, you get in that spotlight, you know, nerves can get a little bit kind of frizzled.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't play the best as you want here, but it's all about experience at the end of the day here. Of course, we're going to be seeing a Sipukai go down into the losers. You know, swimming with the Sharks and see how they do. I guarantee they'll do well here. Of course, we get some more matches here at Slashback 2025. Kizzy, how's been your Slashback?
Man, it's been great. I've been having so much fun. And, you know, obviously I've just been on the commentary like most of the weekend. I haven't got a chance to really compete at all. But you know, as a commentator, as a just a person just chilling in the behind the scenes, just chilling, talking to people, I had such a great time. You know, this is like the first time where I'm able to like I guess social. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what the tournament's about, right? It's about vibing. It's always been about vibing here. You've been all three, right?
yeah, I missed the first
The first one?
Yeah, I missed the first one. So
I've lucky been to attend all three, and they've all been great. They keep getting bigger, and they always stay the same, like, Goldilocks happy medium of just, like, not too big. And I come from Seattle, and you guys are so spoiled here. Guildhouse is such an amazing venue.
You know, I can't say I'm part of here because I'm from Southern California, but you know,
Cali enough, man.
You know, it's Cali enough, but you know, yeah, it's a little spoiled over here. You know, we have a little fun. You know, we got some cool opportunities. I like to call it very cool. You know, I got to keep it very cool. But you know, my experience has been really great, and I always recommend people to kind of come out here and give Slashback a chance. It's like a great experience. It's like a very great medium of like those super regional events and like those big majors and like that whole like community grassroots type of vibe. And like having all of those kind of like in one, it feels great, you know?
Yeah.
Especially just being in the crowd you know, watching the matches play. Like, man, it's fun just watching the matches and just kind of seeing how, you know, NorCal always popping off in their retrospect. And,
I mean, we have Gundam on the other screen right there on the Celestial stage too. A game that like is true and dear to my heart here. Who doesn't really like Gundam? And of course, a lot of other games have been on display. We had Axis Core yesterday. We had Blaze Blue. I love Blaze. Blaze is always a treat to watch here. We always jokingly call it like it's the P&W local. Because we have a lot of P&W players that entered the top 8 a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ruka, you know, you got
Kairos.
Kairos is official, even though, you know, he's on the other side of the bridge. But yeah, he's part of P&W. So, I mean, you guys got some killers there. And, you know, it was good to see some SoCal guys up there as well. Breaker Dave, you know, always one of the pioneers of, like, Blaze Blue and, like, why everybody wanted to be good in SoCal is because, you know, you had to be strong enough.
He's a pioneer, man.
Yeah, you had to be strong enough to be him, you know, and, like, it built character, you know, especially fighting Articuno for hours. You know?
Character is definitely the word here. But yeah, guys, definitely if you want to come out next year, get yourself a slice of the culture for sure. This was one of the best tournaments to be, especially when we kind of really need it here on the West Coast. But yeah, you know, we're going to be holding it down here, the dynamic duo of Kizzy and Furshaw. When we get our next match on screen, I think we're just kind of troubleshooting the setups to make sure they're all fine and dandy. You know how it is.
Yep. And like I said, man, the matches that we seen already, or the match that we seen was actually really, really great. It honestly could have gone both ways. Like, it was actually pretty fun to watch. And we have more matches coming up. That's the craziest part. I don't think this is not going to be like one of the the only great matches that we have. We got Polishing Man and winners. We got all these players. I mean, Jonathan Tenays and losers.
That was something that kind of surprised me too in terms of just like that upset, right? And of course, you know, thinking back to like the past Slashbacks, we had Nubenheimer win the very first one, and he's back once again, still in winners. We'll hopefully get that, you know, that 2P. We'll see what happens. Chikomi Maurer won the last one here. That was a big dub for P&W. Unfortunately, Drowning Pools this time around here, but we do still have some P&W here in the losers by the name of Negative Ellie. We got Soldier, a.k.a. Sunny D, and we got Taters. So we're still kicking.
Yeah, y'all still alive and well. And I'm curious how well Nubenheimer is going to do now with the new character that he's playing. You know, Potemkin. He really believes that their character is one of the best characters in the game, like hands down.
Man, everybody's gangster until the big boys start getting good, man.
Yeah, you know, I always tell people, I was like, man, Potemkin is one of those characters that's just always been good. Nobody just picked him up. And you know what's crazy? They picked him up, and they're like, yo, this character's ridiculous. And I was like,
he's actually ridiculous.
Actually insane character. It's crazy because he's not even a grappler anymore.
The craziest change to me, above like so many other changes he got in Season 4, was the fact that they made Garuda a projectile. You can't FD anymore.
Dude, I've been telling people.
You can't clash with it anymore.
I've been telling people that change actually is so insane. And people was like, yeah, but it's not a strike. And I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. Like, having
no interaction.
Having a projectile, that means that it doesn't clash with DPs anymore. It also means that you can max range and bait every reverse, most reversals.
Some niche ones, right? But like the majority of the cast, right? That really does lock you down. He's more of a lockdown character now.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's not a grappler anymore. Right. He actually became a lockdown. Why a character that does a command grab, that does 50% of your life, can choose not to do it and lock you down for 50%?
I think the messed up thing is like when he goes for a 6K and you're like, all right, I can punish this, right? And he like does the armor on the pot buster, or he like calls out the jump or whatever, right? Like the RPS off of that move alone is going to be something you're probably going to see from Nubenheimer, of course. And think about more of the storylines, of course, in winners. Of course, we got Apology Man versus Kermit. And that's one that's going to be very cool to see because that is a run back from the Guild House pre-local. Kermit winning that one here. So let's see what kind of happens when we get the run back going.
Yeah, dude. I look forward to that match. I wasn't able to see that match particular, so I'm curious to see like what the adjustments is going to be now that they have to kind of play each other on stage.
All right, we got to the stage here, Nubenheimer and Red Ditto. Red Ditto, of course, your winner of Arc World Tour. A man won 50 bands and had the shortest victory speech, and he's like, peace, I'm out. I got to play some TFT.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, when Ramathar is chilling like that, you know, you don't.
That was her first win, right? Like her first big major win.
Yeah.
Out of the whole damn game.
Yeah. Arxis gave that character everything she needed
and more
to make sure that she won.
Are you saying that there's a little bit of a script written here?
I 100% think that there's a script. There was a script.
Well, Lux, I think Red Ditto has the pen here. He's been writing some flames. Nubenheimer, like I said, already won a Slashback here. Let's see if we can get another one here. Now, I've been hearing through the whispers, Nubenheimer says he's not scared of anybody except Red Ditto.
I mean, yeah, if you see the arsenal that Red Ditto has, being the player, and also the character that they play, I would also be terrified as well. I mean, just coming out with like a crazy momentum of just winning AWT, and obviously they're not stressed out whatsoever. So
no.
I think when you're a grappler player and you're fighting somebody that just don't have any stress, or just like it's not that they don't care, but they're just like free forming. You know, like this is just nothing but a exciting trip. You know, it's
scenic for him.
Yeah, it's a very hard way of beating somebody like that. You know,
you saying this is a side quest, man?
Yeah, this is definitely a side quest. You know, it's like Final Fantasy 14, right? You know, after you beat the story and it's just all these like side quests that you have before the new patch come out.
Everybody's got the exclamation over their head.
Yeah. Right now, you know, he already beat the main quest scenario, so right now everybody is this is like side content.
Hey man, I will say though, Potemkin kind of a raid boss. Kind of got that vibe with me here.
Yes, a lot of health, a lot of damage.
Right.
Can get wiped.
Aura too.
can get wiped very instantly.
And of course, a little inside baseball. Both of these players have not lost the game the whole weekend here. So this is one you don't want to miss. Get your popcorn ready. Glue your butts to the seat.
Yeah, and this is again. Kurosage is officially in top 8, so this is for top 8. So I don't think they want to go into the kiddie pool and lose it. Yeah, I don't think people want to go in the kiddie pool, you know, because you'll think when you hear the word kiddie pool, you're like, oh, it's like cute kitties, like those lions, tigers,
bears, sharks, all of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it here on the round start. Only one can open the door to the top 8. All right, and a lot of respect off the rip here. Usually Nubenheimer like throws out a 5P or just lets a pot buster rip, but Red Ditto already put it on the hurt.
Yep, this is a scenario that I think Rementhal is one of the best in the game when it comes to corner pressure, and instantly in the corner pressure, and this is going to be very, very bad for Potemkin. The Potemkin really don't have much that they can do right now besides try to parentally do something to get out of the scenario, and this is a scenario right here, automatically trying to get that ground control, put them in the corner. This mix-up, hit them, break the wall, and amazing. I don't think they're going to get the hard knockdown stab. Oh, they did. Okay, great. You're dead.
Yeah, it's already like that, too. And one of those things that, like, Potemkin got in the recent patches, they made the hammerfall break just a little bit faster, so it's kind of a reaction check. If you're not all ready to deal with it, you get pop buster just like that. But I'm liking I'm seeing already from Red Ditto, locking down the lockdown character like we were talking about, Kizzy K. Gets that risk up. Yep. He can crack it. Oh, what a jump in with the body splash. Reversal of fortune, double cheeked up on a Sunday.
That was a very cheeky setup right there. Got a lot of damage before the burst, which is really good. You know, grappler characters having like the life lead, they're so obnoxious to deal with. And I think, oh my goodness, that was so great. And I think Nubenheimer understands that and set the super, went forward, kind of did a lot of pressure, and then looked for the tick throw and got the game.
We're already seeing the duality of both these characters is that Rementhal is able to mitigate interactions, right?
Yeah.
While on the other side, Potemkin only needs a few interactions to end the round.
But technically only needs a good one, you know? Wow. Trying to jump out, unfortunately broke the wall, but you know, Potemkin has a lot of health, so you know, you get a lot of information from this scenario. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Yep, abusing the armor. Yeah, this time going for the 5B here. Red Ditto holding it down, trying to gain some space, use the overhead. Nice block from Nubenheimer. It's a counter hit. This is how the magic starts for Red Ditto here. Of course, we're going to break the wall, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, very quick, very effective. I think Red Ditto kind of kept a little more space than before and was like, yo, all right, this person's locked in. Let me make sure I'm locked in, too.
Nice, I love the anti-air coming out from Red Ditto as well. Lock him down mid-screen with the 8 sword here. Finds the counter hit. Go for the early damage because he doesn't want to make sure he uses the burst like that.
Okay, running in. Potemkin definitely has no reversal option, so this is going to be all hard reactions that Nubenheimer has to do.
The rinse and repeat is working out from here from Red Ditto's side.
He tried to heavily pop bust.
You see that
he was on the catapult? He was on the catapult like, I'm ready to jump.
Yeah, I'm ready to take you to the afterlife, man.
Yep, slam down.
All right, well, 1-1 apiece. This is probably the fastest game we've had so far.
Yeah, that was, and mind you, this is a grappler help, so I was like, man, that was pretty fast.
He's even tankier.
Yeah. I guess health don't matter against Rementhal. Wow, that was so good. And I think that caught the landing punch, too. That was crazy.
Okay, there we go. Red Ditto. Yeah, I've been loving when he's using the flex shield, too, just to mitigate those scenarios where he can get locked down by Potemkin here. Speaking, get locked down, gets popped by the sword. We're going to get the wall. We're going to get the Moabot.
Nice. This is a great hard knockdown. Got a meter to kind of work with, but did not block that mix-up. I think they got one more chance. One more chance, I think, right here. A lot of meter to work with, though. But this is going to be very unfortunate. Yeah, and I can see why Numenheimer said like they were very nervous about Red Ditto. It's because Red Ditto's offense with Rementhal, it has to be some of the most impressive things that you have to deal with, and not having no reversal option or a good like a Bari option to kind of like get out. It's really, it's all about your discipline in these bad scenarios.
And the discipline does work out. Goes for another immediate super, of course, just to make sure we get this guaranteed damage. And they're so efficient, I feel like, with their resources that you don't need to spend a lot of situations here. There is the burst gone from Numenheimer. Let's see if he's able to turn things around. Waiting for the sword. There it is.
What a whiff punish on the far slash. Baited, walked forward, walked back, and went for the slight head. And that was a good footsie slight head. That was amazing right there. Didn't get a lot of return out of it, but I love those interactions about the fighting game. I'll tell you that.
Okay, double sword lockdown, able to go for the grab this time. Yeah, you're probably so overloaded from both of the swords. You're kind of deer in the headlights. There we go. Red Ditto get another 2-1 on the board.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Numenheimer, I felt like the 2 games that they lost, they just couldn't play the game, you know? And,
right.
And honestly, you kind of don't want Potemkin to really play the game because right now, this is what happens when they play. You got to deal with this.
Yeah, welcome to the Playhouse here. Okay, that was a very well-timed backdash coming out from Red Ditto. And now it's their turn here. Has 50% tension, but go. Okay, we were hold on to the super. Was able to grab and get it.
I think out of range. I think they were slightly out of range, and they wasn't confident that they had a lot of time, so they just went for the wall break just to get this situation.
Go for the things that work, and this is what's working right here. Get another wall stick. This time going for the super. Gotta get the safe jump here. A lot of tension there on Numenheimer's side.
Honestly, they didn't even spin RC. They just committed and walked back. That was crazy.
Hey, simple knows best. Red Ditto now on game point. Numenheimer, what's the answer?
Yeah, I guess. It's very hard because, again, Remington's pressure is just guard break into, like, this scenario right here. And, like, if you put somebody in an opponent right here where they just have to keep constantly guessing, it's very, very hard for them to kind of get that comfortability to kind of get started. It's just not been working out. They've just been in the corner this whole time.
Yeah, but Libertine's interaction, of course, that's going to be death on block here. Does have another chance, has 2% meter. Can he use it wisely? Emerfall break. Red Ditto using these super jumps so efficiently here. Go for the backdash BRC, doesn't come out of it. Nice block in the tap dust.
One more life, one more chance. Numenheimer has not been able to press anything. Just like that. Man, when you talk about an RPG right there, that was some role playing. You know?
No.
That was a good role play right there. Good job. Thanks. You know, I mean, unfortunately, like in that scenario, it's very hard. It's just very hard to do anything. Again, when I think once Ditto kind of was like, I'm just going to just run guard crush offense, and there's nothing you can do about it. And like your character don't have any reversals, no nothing. That's exactly what it looks like. It's clear cut, dry. There's no RPS in those scenarios. It's like you're gonna take this, and like if you don't block it, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there wasn't like anything like too out of the norm, because I don't think that Red Ditto needed to kind of like walks outside of that norm. He kept all his tension available to when he was able to get hits, able to get that super, able to get the hard knockdown too, and he was basically setting himself up for success for like the next round and whatnot. So just very good use of the resources too. Numenheimer, of course, going to go down into the losers here. Let's see if they can swim big old Potemkin. And honestly, if they're able to get the run back, that's something I'm going to put my money on.
Yeah, I'm actually putting my money on that as well. Just especially once you kind of play more games than like 3 games in this game, you start getting a little comfortable of like the patterns of your player. And like, you know, I know this game is like a first to 3, and like even with the first to 3, you still don't get a lot of information in this game because you can just die off.
It's so fast, man.
Yeah, it's so fast.
And they buff the damage too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So now I feel like the next time they kind of play each other, I think he's going. Newmanheimer's going to remember like that trauma that he went through, you know. And he's going to become a Super Saiyan, you know? And the reactions and the scenarios, I think they're going to probably pick better decisions at that moment, you know? And unfortunately, the decisions that they picked, even though it wasn't good decisions, at that scenario, the logic behind it was good, you know? And I always say, like, even though logistically, like, you're like, oh, this is a great decision, even though it didn't work out, it was still like a good logical decision. It just wasn't good at that moment.
Yeah, just like you need to have the execution behind it, right? Like some ideas just need a little bit more like cooking eggs to make them work. And we'll see if they come back later on here. But of course, we got a 2 new pair on deck. Uwabami versus GC Yoshi. Now, Uwabami made top 8 last year here at Slashback. Get another chance being another Johnny in our top 8. And man, I gotta give some credit here. GC Yoshi getting top 8 in Arc World Tour and doing it once here again, trying to get top 8 again at Slashback with Medman here, who's been getting a lot of love, but man, it's always good to see some of the old souls crack through on the winner's side.
Yeah, it's funny about GC Yoshi. GC Yoshi reminds me of those players that just always slides in everything. You're like
you forget, man.
You're just like, oh, GC Yoshi just is here. Oh, GC Yoshi is in top 8.
Yeah, he just appears.
Yeah, he just appears.
He spawns in, man.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because he just has that energy. Where like, even this weekend, like I was looking for him this whole time and I was like, dang, I guess he must be busy. And then he was just like behind me.
Like,
and I'm just like,
he's
oh,
like, no, I'm here.
What up? I'm like, yo, what up? So, you know, this is one of the specialist players that I was talking about. I'm curious to see what GC Yoshi is going to bring to the table. The thing is about GC Yoshi, I think the way they look, GC Yoshi look at the game, it's going to be very different from like other players that fight Johnny, is because he fought some of the worster Johnnies in his whole career of just Guilty Gear alone. So I'm curious to see like what comforts that he's going to bring to the table of fighting a character that is very strong like Johnny.
Yeah, and of course, this character is kind of like a feast or famine when it comes to able to get the errors and the calls going here. This Ben is kind of squeaky too. It doesn't really have a lot of defense, kind of cracks under pressure, and there is the wake up J.
Yeah, backdash is a super. Just automatically in their head was already committed to what option it was going to do, and it just happened to work out.
Okay, coming through though, we can hopefully make this puts down the card here. Wake up 5P once again. That's like the second time GC Yoshi has been going for the double overhead. Spells doom for you, and there it goes one more time.
Nice. I really like that. He went for like the hard bait on the burst, but got Oki off of that. So that's really, really good and unfortunate.
Yum, yum, yum. YRC, we love it.
Yeah, YRC, I feel like a lot of people are baiting it so well in this game. Especially with what we've been seeing as of late. People got some weapons for it. Okay, now letting the task kind of do its job right now.
Okay, I'm liking the float options too.
This is scary.
Yeah, this is so scary. You have to deal with the recalls here. They're on Vibin's side. I'm liking it, kind of saving it for the energy. Tension on their side. Just spend it?
Yeah. I think, damn, that was really clean.
Perfect. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, they just did not play the game.
That's kind of a running theme we're seeing today.
Yeah, I think we are something.
Can you play the game?
Yeah. I don't know for sure. I don't think I can.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, I don't feel so good.
But right now, Uwabami is looking pretty good on their side here. Has some positive to kind of work with. We're seeing Delilah kind of run back, trying to help the bed. Help your man.
Yeah. Dude, and I think Joshi has a good pattern against Uwabami that they're running on because they are doing like a lot of extended pressure, and Uwabami just sitting there just trying to take it and trying to get out and trying to bash their way out, and it's just not working out all the time. But right now, just Yoshi has the flowchart for it, of how they want to defend.
Yeah, you can't face tank it for so long there. GC Yoshi rounding up there with one on the board. And he's been talking about how, like, the buff to the projectile getting a little bit more damage means, like, you can't start eating those as much as you can because they do add up over time. He's kind of going for that, like, I'm going to use some card term analogy with that burn damage, right?
Yeah. And I think before it was like, it took like 13, and I think now it takes like 8, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, man, that's a huge difference.
Huge.
It's huge. When you look at it, that well is huge, especially when they have low health. You know, it matters way more.
Okay, it's starting to matter here for Uwabami here. Going to be throwing out the overdrive. We see the super a lot today. Probably the super we're going to see the most. Kind of giving me level 1 Bardock vibes, but
oh yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to give PTSD.
Oh man.
Uwabami saying, "Bring it on." A little bit of health up there on GCO's channel, a little bit of tension as well, but yeah, just the long range. It's so hard for GCOshi to contest.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I think Obama actually had a really good, solid offense right there, a lot of offensive sequence. Definitely is trying to use a lot of 6Ks and a lot of misfinders at the max range, was really good because, again, Batman doesn't have a run, so you have to take advantage of that, you know? And I think Uwabami's kind of taking advantage of that a little bit. What a good conversion right there.
Yeah, the crouching 2P just to kind of like check the float option as well. We're getting locked down with the cards here. Gets the TK, misfinder here. Momentum is all on their side, and that's one thing you gotta love about Guilty Gear Strive is momentum.
Oh wow, just right off the back, wild assault. And just hit off for the hard knockdown, Yoshi. That was very GC Yoshi option right there.
And also a very Uwabami option to go with the super.
Yep.
One more time here.
RC
Favorite letter in the alphabet.
Yep, RC it, charge dust. Just like that. 1-1.
One apiece. Double hockey sticks here. I kind of missed the coin, man.
I missed the coin too.
The card's cool though.
The card is cool. I do miss the coins though.
And right back into the same old song and dance here. Early burst moment, I definitely do agree because it's a little bit hard for GCOshi to get any semblance of momentum. As I say that, though, they do have the lockdown here coming from the errors.
Nice.
Wow, first white wall assault we've seen also from GCOshi. Nice block there for Uwabami. Has to keep locked down. These guard crushers are just working out from them.
Oh, nice throw setup. I think they were trying to mash after that too and got the smash thrown in that scenario. Oh, baited the yellow RC again, man. Uwabami just have like a really good pattern on how GC Yoshi wants to yellow RC.
Yeah, actually really Neuralink in terms of just calling out a lot of things here from GC. Let's see what the retaliation is there.
I like that. The whip slow slash into the throw. Wow, committed to mash, you know?
And that's like the third time. Yeah, a lot of commitment to the mash here, so we might see a little bit of dash back misfire just to make that option out.
Wow, Obama trying to steal their turn, and Yoshi was already ready. I love that walk forward block just to kind of catch you pressing something or trying to jump. Like right there, you see how Yoshi is always using like that re-jump just to kind of pick up what they like to do. It's been working this whole set. It's really, really good. And it's like a weird timing where you feel like you can kind of steal your turn, and then Yoshi kind of catches with you with a re-jump and hit you and put you in the loop again, you know?
Yeah, he uses like false confidence, if you will, right?
Yeah, man, gaslighting pressure, I like to call it, you know?
That's what I was saying. Okay, trying to go for the Tempur-Pedic mix there. Goes, find a counter hit. This could be some big damage on their side. And no burst to help you either.
Nice. Honestly, this is the life bar is actually even, especially them having 50 meter. Oh, that's
this is dangerous. It's getting a little dicey. That's where it starts. Gets a throw. Throw down a card here. Gets a mix off. I love the option for the deflect shield. Super jumps away. PRC trying to get out of dodge.
Uh-oh. That might be round. Oh, just like that.
Just like that here. We've been seeing a lot of the situation. If you don't finish your play, if you don't find a way, the meal come back to bite you, man.
Yeah, and you know, Batman, it's very hard to move with Batman. Batman don't have like traditional dashes like everybody else, so it's very hard to move with them. And it's like, it's, you know, for Johnny, it's an easy target. Wow, good whip punish on 6 feet.
The white walls are coming out here, trying to push their advantage. Counter hit found from Uwabami here. Gonna get some positive on this, spending overdrive in the process.
Yep. What's my name? Not Dexter. It's Johnny. All right, here we go. Nice deflect shield. I think they're trying to pop the super, but it might get hit.
Yeah, I don't know if you're getting really much value out of this install. I like the idea. You see Yoshi, but Uwabami had a better one.
And this is really bad because they spin super and they haven't got a chance to use it at all. But getting a little bit of momentum right now, but a lot of life not to work with.
There we go. Tossed him aside. Another one on the board for Uwabami here. Now, Juicy Yoshi, maybe think about this a little bit. Okay, we're just going right back into it.
Yeah.
No ice in here.
Yeah.
An immediate jump. We've seen a lot of success from Juicy Yoshi if he's able to get a lot of early jumps to get momentum, but Uwabami already, like, killing that vibe with the early burst here. Of course, getting the wall break.
Okay, let's see what they're going to do now. Oh, man. Getting hit with a lot of straight hits from, like, dashes. And, like, Uwabami just being extremely hyper-aggressive and just, you know, doing a lot of, like, meter-dependent block streams just to try to force an option. But they're just trying to end the game really, really quick. They're not trying to get Juicy Yoshi to kind of play that mid-range because Juicy Yoshi mid-range and pressure has really shown how good it is. And now Uwabami's like, I'm going to close this out. And right now, with match point.
Yeah, busted with the dust at the very end there. Let's see if it happens again. Maybe another mix-up we can kind of lean on, but we're leaning on the Insanga. This time it'll build up a lot of damage. Of course, another positive. Like I said, the most viewed super this whole entire tournament. I'm calling it right now.
Hey, man.
Give me the stats, man. Where the analytics at?
All right. Oh, with throw. Did not try to intercept. This is a good scenario, though. Hard knockdown with the scenario. Okay. A lot of pressure, jumping out, going for the air throw with the air throw. Oh, try to get the goal burst. This is actually not good for Juicy Yoshi right now. This is really bad. No resources. Johnny is a super moving, forward, active hitbox character, so this is very, very scary. Panicking, barring, a lot of matching going on in these scenarios. They're really trying to end the game, and Yoshi's trying to control the tempo right now as much as they can and got a good hit, but just dropping these combos is crazy. Now they got the meter and they're going to get the hit. Oh, nice confirm into the wall break, and now Uwabami is in top 8 winners.
Uwabami cannot believe it. Made a second top 8 on their side, putting GC, Yoshi, in losers. And honestly, I got to give them so much credit there. You know, even though they got caught mashed a couple of times there, it was like the low committal use of like 2P and 5P just to check GC Yoshi in the air because of like the huge hurt box the bed has, right? So it made a lot of sense. Man, these matches are just keep getting better and better as time goes on.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the stress that you have to have when you have no meter, you're in the air, Johnny has 50 meter, Johnny has burst, you have no burst, you have a little bit, you have one health bar to survive, like a fiasco of what's gonna happen, and he's dashing with you with 6K.
Yeah, there was that ballsy, crazy. Like, after he got, he was, like, on his last legs there on one of the rounds. He just did a dash up, like, 6K, and he was just like, all right, if it hits, it hits. And it did, right? Like,
yeah, and, like, in those scenarios, I just think that it was just so rough. And, like, again, like, when you're a big target like that for Johnny, it's very easy for Johnny to just really, like, kind of feel like a fast character. I mean, he's already fast, but, you know, there are other characters that I think are faster than him. But when you're just a slow target like that, he feels 18,000 times faster than anything.
I think that makes a lot of sense, too, because, like, the matchup seems so hard for Bedman that Bedman has to play more aggro. And I don't think Bedman's really built for that as much, right? Like, yeah. he can definitely try, but he's played against, like, his archetype a little bit here. But speaking of archetypes, we, of course, got the character with the bag of tricks, Faust, being piloted by Apology Man, and Kermit with Biken. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is a run back from the Guildhouse pre-local. Kermit taking it on first place. Let's see if Apology Man can turn it around this time.
Yeah, you know, Biken is very interesting this pack because a lot of people don't talk about.
That's the way to put it.
No, a lot of people don't talk about this character. This character also has a lot of good things as well, but she also has a lot of faults that are like not popular for like a average person that plays this game. Like the things that she faults in, like a lot of new players or just players that just started playing fighting games for the first time, they don't really like those cons, right? But I feel like if you're a person that plays like multiple fighting games, you could kind of like be okay with that, and like you being okay with that, I think she brings like the strength that she brings to the table is very, very good for what it is. And you know, a couple of things is like, you know, Yozanzen being such a good, she's like a really up close 50-50 character. Good damage all around, always have good damage, hard knockdown off pretty much all of her like basic combos and things like that. Like those little baby things, like it matters to a lot of people. Tether being such a strong tool itself, like when you're a player that or when you're a character that your whole goal is like kind of like to vortex your opponent, but make them feel like they have to try to like hard commit with you, and you have a tether to bring them close to do that. It's a lot of plus. But again, the cons is like, you know, a lot of her, a lot of the scenarios that she gets you with, she don't get like the best thing, like, you know, her 5H knocking you far, you know, things like that. Like a lot of those things are not popular. You know, it's not a popular thing. But she still brings a lot of good things. Like her, again, her 9-frame forward slash is such a good tool to have. You know,
and that's the one that you do have to lean on, right? Besides that, she might not have like the best whiff punish options. And in this matchup, in like particular, it's going to be a little bit hard, I think, for Foss to kind of deal with, you know, the parry. Kind of can't rely on mix, rely on the trainer without meter per se. You Crawl is going to be kind of dubious going underneath like the Kabari and whatnot too.
Yeah.
So there's got kind of a hurt and heal on both sides as well. I feel like 6H and Scalpel might be off the books as well, depending on like the ranges we're playing at here. And I think that's what Polygon is going to have to really rely on his range and be an opportunist. I think that's like that key word, is that Faust is a opportunist character, and we're already seeing opportunity off the rip.
Yes, right off the bat. So let's see. You know, Kabari is still going to be a good thing to use in this matchup, even though with the Crawl, I always recommend people, like, even though a character like Faust has an easy option like that, you still want to do it.
Right. You still want to represent it.
Yeah, you still want to represent it.
Mix come all the way. I'm about to say, that was extremely risky.
That was very greedy. Very greedy. You know, like very, very greedy. And I think Apology was like, okay. You know, that was a very, very greedy option to do right there. And, you know, it did not pay off. And, you know, I guess because, like, they already won before, they were like, oh, let me try to do something different. And I think that was probably, like, the mind game that they try to come in with.
To be honest, if that comes up again, because Kurt might not have that in his head, he might be looking for that a lot more, and now Apology Man might not ever do it again.
Yeah.
So it might be throwing him off kilter from the get-go, but let's kind of see. I might be jumping the gun a little bit here. Kermit does have him in the corner, puts the tether like we're talking about, that win con we're looking for in the mix. Nice.
Oh, is that burst? Yeah, that's a burst.
Go down the hammer. Another. We got the workshop going here, Kizzy. We got.
Yeah. Literally got the fro now. Mess with the fro, you gotta go.
Okay.
Boom. Just like that.
Take it to the barber shop. Love to see it. We'll put down some love.
Okay. Eating the
bomb
right now. It's scary.
That's not good for your digestion, man.
Yeah, it's scary though, because the setup is about to be really messed up. He's going. Oh, he just knocked to throw it. Went for the setup. Boom.
I'm going to show you a different reality, one that I'm winning. Apology Man already taken one on the board.
Yeah, like I said, like, you know, I would like to see a little bit more Far Slash in this matchup. You know, Far Slash, you know, even though it may not be like the best in terms of like some of the best straight hits, but just kind of just throwing it out against Faust just to annoy them, such a good thing to do. Jump S is also a great option as well.
Yeah, Jump S is definitely the go button. As soon as you say that, Kizzy, like you were talking about, already starts to reel its ugly head one more time for the fans.
Through the hammer, that was a great hammer. You know, it's funny when it comes about Faust hours. It's like, depending on the item he throws, sometimes it's a great item to throw out on Mash, you know?
Okay, in the wall break there on Kermit's side. Looking a little bit better for them this time around here. No more shenanigans going to be happening, but speaking of shenanigans here, we're starting to throw the obstacle course. The Sentry Drone coming out here. Metal Gear, is that you?
Yep, and again, Mini Faust always coming through. Can literally make any of his grab opportunities safe, you know, because if it whiffs, then the Mini Faust comes to save him. You know, it's such a very, very good Faust tactic, I like to call it.
Hey, we're dropping down the hammer just to cover our bases. Teleports right in. Burst gone there from Kermit, but has a lot of tension to work with.
The far
and
slash.
baits out the burst. He understood the mission well. Kermit staying alive.
Yes, and those are the far slash that I was talking about. Just throwing them out and just kind of like using the RC to kind of confirm. It's 9 frames. You just want to just take advantage of any scenario that is like -2 and up. You know, just throw that button out. It's going to win majority of the time.
Okay, looking pretty good there from Apology Man's side so far here. I like these preemptive buttons coming out there from Apology Man as well. Kermit making their way in. Counter hit. Jump S.
Okay.
We are tethered to him, but
yeah, this is a great scenario.
that crawl was so good to go underneath the jump as they're kind of mitigating that whole situation. The neutralization from Apology Man has been so good.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use JH after that next scenario.
Right.
Put them
Rotate on it.
Yeah, rotate that. I think that'd be a good thing to do right now.
Break that mix messed up again.
There we go. This is scary right here. The stress levels are high. Yep, do it again. Yep, this is where I think that this character is so amazing at. Is being able to put you in that scenario and just put you there constantly and make you think about what she's going to do next.
Yeah, able to kind of loop that offense. Deflect shield coming out from there from Apology Man here. A lot of tension on both sides. Fro coming out, wants to avoid that. Does not want to get fuzzy. It's potential. Mix. The Fro's onto him. Oh, finish it.
Oh, this is scary. Good blocks. One mistake.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't think they want to take chip damage either.
Oh, that far slash like you were talking about, Kizzy
yeah.
K, is the money maker here for Carmen. 1-1 apiece now for these two. You know, I think there's a lot on the line here. I think it's pride.
Yes, a lot of pride. And we love pride in California, so I'm sure Carmen is showing all the pride that they got right now. There we go. That's fine. Just keep throwing it out. Like, rotate it up. Sometimes throw a little 2S there, but the main scenario is throw out that far slash so fast, so effective, and like it forces them to have to keep crawling. And then that's when you start adding in the jumps and start adding in the rotation of your offense right there. But Apology Man just showing so much vigilance in terms of their decision making, not being afraid. You know, I think one of the biggest things is always important, man. Never be afraid of doing your game plan, no matter what.
Yeah, always stick to your game plan. Having a game plan coming this has been working out so far for Apology Man. Puts down the mini falls for time. This time the cross up there on the NATO. And yeah, we're going to hold on to this burst there on Kermit's side. And even for good measure, right? Breaking some ankles at the end.
Yeah, breaking some ankle with the mix. And, you know, running over the ankle, hitting it. And mini falls is like, I ain't done with you, dog.
Let me get some too.
Yeah, let me get some of that too. Nice match with the 5P right there.
Okay, trouble on the side ring in the homies, and the tap does. I saw what you did.
I think what they were trying to do was either make them block where they're forced to block mini Faust, but I think they were slightly off. So him gave it up with the jump off there was very unfortunate for Apology Man. But Kermit was probably like, thank goodness that I was free.
Okay, yeah, this is looking so difficult here.
Yeah.
Wall them over there. First
nice.
ID over. Gonna go for the direct super. Make sure we get that guaranteed damage. We do have still burst there on Kermit's side. And now we gotta see if Apology Man can bait out this next burst too.
Yeah, so that adjustment that Apology Man did was, I knew that you're gonna start a bar in with bar slash. I'm just gonna IED over because I know that you don't have resources to make it safe. And that was such a great adjustment. That was actually very, very good on Apology Man's end. It's actually incredible to be able to figure that out on the fly, especially how fast the tempo his match has been going. And game 2 for Apology Man. That was actually very beautiful what Apology Man did.
Now I did say like Biken did have answers in terms of like parry like being offered, but we saw Kermit use it like at the very end of that game, and it unfortunately did not work out. I'm not sure how much application they're able to get, but now the homies haven't been betraying you there. Apology Man. Kermit got you in the corner, got you tethered, of course. There's that overhead we've been looking for, Kizzy.
Yes, and again, that tether scenario, it doesn't matter how good you are on defense, man. You got to fight, you got to brawl with her. And you know, she is one of the queens of brawl in this game.
She scraps, man.
Oh, that was such a...
Did that count the back dash, right?
Nah, they did empty jump 2K, 6K. And I think that's what happened.
Well, anyways, we got a perfect on deck here. Kermit looking pretty bright.
Oh, nice. Good mix. That was really good. Oh, wow. They forced that option right there. And then Apology Man was looking for it still and was able to get so much tempo from that. The big 18, nice damage. Using the mix to kind of get in and go for the art Roman cancel. Did not really capitalize a lot on that counter hit setup. Missed another combo there too. But Kermit is just mashing a lot on that scenario and just did not work out at all.
Yeah, and now we are on game point here. Apology Man making a statement here is saying that, like, you know what, you got the pre-local here, but when it comes down time to play ball, I'm dunking on you.
Did not punish that, tried to with 5P. I like the Kabari option, but our TK drill was already a thing. I would like Kermit to do a little more jump S now that Apology Man is established that they want to jump more often than normal that they was usually doing, so I want to see Kermit's adjustment off of that.
Okay, I like it. He's kind of putting the idea in the head that, like, all right, you want to go for the ignition. Now going for the ignition of the double jump D. Nice blocks in there. Has to respect the pop. Just kind of jump scare with the BRC backdash here, putting some damage on them. It's be very close. You got one more chance, Kermit. Guess for game?
Yep, guess for game. Got a lot of meter to work. Oh.
One of the best normals in the game, and it's still going to be here to stay.
2P.
Apology, man.
2P. 2P.
2P.
2P.
2P. I like that.
2P.
Apology, man. There you go. Making his top 8. And, you know, Apology Man, one of those players, like, he's such a great player in his own right. He's not who has to fight his opponent. Sometimes he has to fight himself. And this moment, he overcame 2 people, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, he did overcome 2 people. You know, them items definitely be playing.
They play the whole game.
Yeah, they play on both sides. But, you know, good stuff to Apology Man. Made really good adjustments. You know, just I think they really took that loss for the pre-go for Gilhouse or for Slashback. And I got to say that the adjustments that they did, Apology Man was really very preemptive with the drills, slowed down a bit when they started using a lot of jump S. And then when they realized that the more of the far slash was coming out rather than the jump S, they started going back for drill again. And the drill was definitely doing a lot of work. So just a little micro adjustments like that was really good. And you could tell that Kermit was kind of hesitant and really thinking twice of what they should do. And again, Apology Man is so comfortable with just being in the range where, like, or not even a range, like in a situation where he is like, okay, I understand the assignment right here. I'm going to go for this option, and I'm going to capitalize on this option. And, you know, sometimes I'm not going to use my item here. I'm going to use my item here, but I'm just going to go for, like, the mix, just to get close to you so you can feel like you have to use parry on defense. And I think when he finally started using, like, the parries on defense, that's when Apology Man was like, okay, I got it.
He's like, no, I got you. That's the thing I've been looking for the whole entire night. And I think there's 2 things that came back that we kind of talked about, right? It was, like, Apology Man, in the early match, right, he messed up with the mix, and that, like, probably put that in Kermit's head. But it's one of those things where we talked about it wasn't a bad idea. We just had to turn it into a good idea. And that's what Apology Man did later on, was able to kind of make it work. And, yeah, it really just seemed like Kermit wasn't as comfortable as he was maybe at the pre-local, and maybe Apology Man was kind of like holding back some of the energy for when the time to go, when it really matters. Didn't show his full hand until then. Yeah, Apology Man just looks so comfortable here. And that's kind of what we talked about earlier, is being on the stage. Apology Man has so much experience on that stage.
Yes, understanding how to use your cards that you show out to the people. And, like, that's when I watch the players that I played now, and then I watch, like, Apology Man, like in GC Yoshi, you can tell the experience of, like, when they should do something, when they're opting to do something, and when they're not going to do something, and not showing all of your cards early on. Because when you try to show all your cards early on, you go all in so early, you're going to need those cards to come back. But if we already know those cards and that you're willing to play, you're going to make your comeback 10 times harder, because now I already kind of know what you're going to do.
Like, it's almost like counting cards in a way, right? You're counting those cards so that you can call out their bluff later on, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's all about, like, keeping that, like, that mental stack later on to kind of cash it in out. You know, it works in every fighting game. That's one thing you can always trust on, is that stack.
Yeah.
Let's check out the sponsors, though, guy. Buy a shirt, will you? Slashback Volume 3, 2025.
Versus
JT.
So we can already tell that this is losers, because we already seen New Hatter lose.
Right.
But, however, Jonathan did start in losers, and Jonathan is climbing. And I think he's going in the background to kind of, you know,
premeditate, maybe?
Yeah, premeditate, get some water, you know, get some beverages, because he's going to have to fight a character that I know for sure that he does not enjoy fighting. Yeah, just knowing Jonathan as a whole, like. And, you know, I always be hard on Jonathan, only because, like, I think he's one of the new gen, like, best players, and in my opinion, and not just me.
He has a lot of history, right?
Yeah, you know, he has a really good background in terms of, like, players that he surrounds himself with. So I just have a higher expectation for him. So, you know, I always give him you know, little jabs here and there, but, you know, he's one of those good players, and I really like what he always tries to bring to the table in this game, no matter what, even though he feels like Arxis is, you know, looking at him every single time and nerfing all his characters.
Got it underneath the magnifying glass, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know.
No, I definitely do feel that. And some about expectations is that you need to live up to them, and that can be kind of hard here. But JT is consistent, right? On the other side, Nubenheimer is like...
Is that his new thing now, JT? We call him JT?
You know, JT.
Is that the
Jonathan Tenner.
When he turns 30, then we call him JT.
Call JT. Okay.
JT is like an unk name.
Unk name. Okay.
He's too young for JT, bro.
My apologies.
He don't get the initials yet. Nah, he ain't up there yet. He gotta get the card. Once he get the card, like the old man card, then we be like, yo, JT, what up? You know? But right now, he's Jonathan Tenay. We saying the whole name. All vowels.
With a chest.
All vowels. You know?
But on the other side, we got a man full of consonants in his name, Nubenheimer. And, you know, he's a player that's been kind of new. He's had some great success in the scene, but Guilty Gear Strive was one of his first offline tournaments with great success. He even had a spotlight on the Evo YouTube talking about, like, he just loves the aspect of fighting games and how, like, the 1v1 aspect too. He just says, like, he can express himself a lot more compared to team games and whatnot here. And you can definitely see it. Yeah,
he used to play Street Fighter 5 too. He was a I think Urian player, if I'm not mistaken. He played a lot of Urian.
Yeah, he played.
That's right. 6 he plays Gaia. So, you know, he's been around in the neck of the woods, but the fact that Strive gave him to get that offline confidence is really great because Nubenheimer was one of those strong players in this game right now.
Hey, Jonathan Tenay has to deal with the beast now here. Gets a knock there on Nubenheimer's side. We're already off to the races here, Kizzy. Bandit Bringer.
Yes, I like that he opted to get the hard knockdown pressure to get out of the corner. Really good option for Jonathan Tenay because Jonathan Tenay does not want to be in the corner against his character. So he's going to play his game plan all around of not being in the corner. Good back dash, good patience.
Yeah, you're going to need to have a lot of patience to kind of deal with the beast. Okay, there it is. The double tap there on the RC. Bandit Revolver, one of the most consistent things that like Soul has. That ends up being really pointed on. The reversal pot buster. He's not scared of the door knocker, man.
Bro, is he about to lose because of that? No way, right?
No way,
right? No way.
He's going to show you the afterlife, man.
Is he dead?
Check out this JPEG.
No. Is he dead? Wow.
Man. Just like that.
Wow, I get it now.
You got it.
Wow.
I get it. You got to.
That was crazy. Okay.
So what you're saying, you think of this character very soon, right? He was fired.
I understand the assignment, and I think he might be dead again. One more grab. Oh, he waited. Oh my goodness. Man, it's so funny. Like he grabs you, he does all this crazy stuff, and then he has a move that flicks you.
Okay. That was so ballsy. Nice rip on the DP there from Jonathan Tenay. He's trying to create some space in, right outside of the range of this far slash. Okay, we're knocking. Don't get reversal again.
Yep. Don't got a lot of meter now.
The Mega Fist, nice caught there. Flick, 6P, with just a little bit out of range. It's unfortunate. Jump in.
That was a good jump in on the slight head. Got the good hit, good damage. Want to pop super to get the hard knockdown. I think this is where the momentum comes for Jonathan now.
Yeah, Jonathan looking bright here one more time. YRC, giving Nubenheimer a chance to play the game.
Wow.
This spray on 6P prey.
Wow. That was a great preemptive 6P right there. And you know, it's funny, traditionally this matchup has always been very hard for Soul because Soul got to brawl with Potemkin. And now Soul really has to brawl in Potemkin because this game is way more aggressive than it has been in other games. So now the fact that he really got to fight, I imagine how stressful Soul players have to feel fighting a character like Potemkin at his prime right now. This is prime Potemkin right now.
Ooh, yeah, nice block on the double overhead here. You know, I kind of like the idea of just kind of taking the tumble out of the Guru Impact to not just be stationary in place, because now you have the space to breathe and reset the whole neutral, but it gets caught with counter hit to the Gigantic guy coming on. And we talked about Urian, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of strength coming back into that.
Yes. Yeah, ages reflection. Yeah. That's probably why Nubenheimer was like, oh, this character reminds me of somebody I used to play, you know? Oh my God. Man. Just like that. Again, Soul has to brawl with this character, and like this character now has armor in a lot of places that he did not use and have in like older games. So now the matchup is even more hard because most pressure now is so streamlined that it's very easy for Potemkin to predict what's going to come next and make more risk with the projectile. I mean, with the command grab.
Yeah, it just seems like Soul's natural comfortable range is now his uncomfortable range as he has to play. If Potemkin's comfortable range here, we're back in that scenario one more time. And this time, the Yabari coming out there for Nubenheimer. Gigantic Kai showing his face one more time.
close slashes, man. I feel like one is going to hurt. Patient.
He's trying for an IB, I think, on these far slashes. Finds a counter hit 5H. Just wake up. Just wake up and do it, man.
Yep. What's gonna happen to me if I don't?
He's not scared of it.
Yeah. Again, when a character has to be up close like that all the time, it's very easy for Potemkin to really pick their command grabs to like steal their turn. And this command grab steals your turn and take 50%.
Nice, I like the back there on the slide here too. The old classic counterplay coming out here. Gets the knockdown there. Goes for the cross-up. Nice block there on Nubenheimer's side. Wallace style coming out.
Nice pressure.
Going low this time.
Yeah, they went low all the other times, and I think now that Nubenheimer is starting to react more of the situation and going low rather than to mix up that. Jonathan Tene trying to establish.
And the side switch, I'm loving what I'm seeing here from Nubenheimer. And that's going to do so much damage there on the Heat Knuckle. We have a lot of meter there to play on Jonathan's side. Let's see if he's able to do it. BRC forward. No, just keeps it copacetic.
Oh, what a good air-to-air. Try to combo off that. 6P, got the hard knockdown. I think that was a rage burst, and definitely did not wake out. It didn't work out, but it's working out now. Still got to hit him like twice.
Yeah, you do. You do so much damage.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, this time you're not reaching for me.
Oh.
The activeness of the flick catching him out of the BRC. One more round here for Nubenheimer. Jonathan Tene, I want to see you on the board, man. You got anything left in the pocket? Come on.
Wow. Okay. Let's get started right here. Almost half, well, almost. Oh, here we go. This is bad. Oh, this is bad right now.
Yeah, definitely so scary. Going for the BRC this time. PRC.
Oh, dang. Didn't get a lot of conversion off that. It's unfortunate.
Okay, double tap on the overhead one more time. I like the IB. Here we go.
All the way from downtown.
Yeah, did he even break that time? There we go. Wake up pop buster one more 50. Time. It's been so consistent for him the whole entire match.
He gets so much meter off the man grab. And it's over. Just like that.
You blink and you miss it. Jonathan Tene, we'll see you next time here. He's laughing it off. He's like, funny character.
Yeah, I mean, that matchup is very, very hard for Soul. Again, like the fact that Soul has to play it up close with a character that has an armor command grab is very, very rough. Because the offense is so streamlined in this game, it really just makes it that Potemkin's game plan is just like, do I think he's going to do this? Yes. Okay. Does he have meter? Even if I
the flow chart is so strong, right?
Yeah, yeah. Even if he doesn't have meter, or if he doesn't have meter, do I think he's going to do this? I'm going to choose this option, and it always is going to win because Soul moves him forward. It just helps. It just helps Potemkin. Just in case I don't think he's in the range, well, you now in the range now. That's how it works.
Yeah, it really kind of like it bites you in the butt, like in terms of like Soul's game plan, put him in the wrong position, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. And
it just made quick games there on Jonathan Tene. Nubenheimer moving through the losers here. He's a whale in the shark. He's a deadly killer whale, man.
Yeah, I think that was for top 8 losers. So.
Was it? Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
there we go.
I think that match was for top 8 losers because, if I'm not mistaken, you have to win one game in top 16 or top 24. If you're on the winner side, then that means you're one game, get top 8. So that means the person that gets knocked down, they just need to win one more to get into top 8 losers. So I think that was a top 8 losers match. If I'm not mistaken.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that was for top 8 losers. So there we go. Nubenheimer solidifying their spot there in top 8. Which means we have a few more games to do it as well. Yeah. And speaking of which, GC Yoshi and Big Will here on the loser's side have to fight it out. They have to fight for the key, man, to get through that door.
Yep, and that is going to be another match for top 8 losers. So this is a very important game. I think we're at a point of the match right now where we're going to see everybody who is playing here. This is the fight to get to where everybody wants to be, which is that main stage.
That's right. We only have a few more matches here in our top 24. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us here. It's been an awesome time.
Yeah, and it's always fun to talk about the game, and I hope you guys are enjoying the matches and the entertainment that me and Flashal is bringing. I will say that we have 2 Johnnies, we have 1 Potemkin, we have Ramathal, we now have a potential Bedman, and I'm not sure who Big Will plays. Do you have an idea?
You know, I don't have the details on that. I do know, like, we potentially also could have a Testament depending on what Simbu has to play as well. Kermit and Alpha also have to duke it out there in the bottom, and that's Biken versus Gold Lewis, which you think if you escape from Gold Lewis, think again.
Gold Lewis is going to show up eventually. Gold Lewis.
He finds a way. Yeah. He's like Thanos. He's like, I'm inevitable, man.
Yeah. He goes, I am inevitable. I'm like, all right. Dude, Thanos is actually that dude. Like, he's actually that dude. When you listen to what he be saying, he's like another version of Magneto. Like, dude, Magneto be talking, bro. When you listen to Magneto, what he be saying, you be like, dang. Like, these dudes use some vocabulary. I feel a little concerned about my life.
Well, we have another representation here of Biken. A lot of Bikens have been like cracking through at this Slashback, and another one trying to fight for this top 8 spot. How do you feel this matchup?
Yo, so this matchup is very interesting because I feel like Biken has a lot of good ways of oppressing Batman because, again, Batman is such an easy target to approach, and I feel like because of that, Biken's normals and like Biken's speed of what she brings, it's a little in their favor, you know, definitely in their favor. So I feel like this is going to be very hard to deal with. I feel like the only way this is really good for Batman is when they really put them in the corner and kind of oppress them with the guard crush and things like that. But I feel like Mystery and everything else, this is going to be it's going to be an uphill battle for Batman.
Yeah, it really seems hard to really get into that scenario. As I say that, GC Yoshi does find the counter hit. Able to spend some meter on it as well. Going to the install. This is looking like some optimal stuff here from GC Yoshi. Able to get the full benefit of it. And you do have to hold the guard crush in the corner. And that's what you were talking about. It came to fruition, right?
Yeah, and that was crazy that they walked back and got shot by the laser and wall break instantly. Like, that scenario was actually crazy.
Okay, got the grab going here. Gonna run up. I like it. Just goes back to the zoning game. And I think that's really beneficial against Biken because she doesn't really have too much answer for that without meter.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's really good to try to keep her out as much as you can because you can't fight her. You can't really
scrap with her, yeah.
You can't really scrap with her, so I think keeping them out is really, really important. And, you know, Biken don't have that much health early on, kind of have a lot of health later in the lifespan, so that was really good. Yeah, just a Jade. I think Big Will don't have a lot of comfort in this matchup. Definitely.
Nah, you're already seeing it.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that they're just trying to run and they don't know what's going on. They're trying to like force their will. And you don't want to force your will so early on. And we talk about putting the cards all on the table. You want to kind of like hide those kind of game plans. And you know, you want to kind of play it slow and just kind of play the game they established. You got 3 games to work with. You get information, and that was really smart.
Godlike. That's an answer. That's the car we've been flipping over, the trap card, right? We've been looking for.
Yeah, you know, that's when you be like, in response.
In response?
Yeah.
You hold your hand up.
Yeah. In response. You know what I mean? Hold up.
What a response coming out for Big Will. Another response coming out.
With 5P into parry. That was a very confident decision.
Hey, GC Yoshi gonna be spending some meter on this grab here. Burst coming out there from Big Will's side. We're going back to that zoning game. You do have a lot of tension. Unfortunately, the Deagle did not work out last time, but we're doing the air Deagle this time. You have to respect it. BRC. Oh, we're gonna get the full conversion off of 2. A lot more hits coming because of the BRC as well.
That was pretty crazy. You know, using that bomb just to force them to block. I mean, Biken can do those things real quick. Don't want to get zoned out and like want to get really close. I would like Big Will to use a little bit more jump S's and 6Ps, you know, and 5Ps. Like, just rotate those good options. You know, you just want to chase them and scout them in there. You don't want to try to aim for like the big combos. You just want to stop them from trying to get.
Oh my God! He went for the greedy gold burst right in the face. Nice. We saw that earlier, Kizzy, and that really worked out. It's being a lot more consistent, and that's what you're going to need against a character like Batman is consistency, and that's what Biken can offer.
Yep. You don't want, like I said, you don't want Batman to get close and have like free pressure. You want to make them earn that, you know?
What a 5P coming out from Big Will.
There we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's how you're going to make this character be very uncomfortable. And, you know, GC Yoshi, again, fantastic player, but this is just kind of like the archetype that Biken is and how you have to deal with this, you know?
It's just like shot for mattresses, man. He had to sit in the mattress and oh, this is the right one.
Exactly.
He's getting used to the matchup now.
Nice wall break. Good combo.
BRC 4 looking for a response. I like it. Using Leo Johnson coming out. Attach at the hip. Where you gonna go?
Yep, GCO, she is very scared. Good confirm off 2K to 6K. I think it's gonna be game. Round. Oh no, pixel health.
Operate one more time.
Nice.
That's gonna hit. Yes, it is. And now you're all about to convert off that almost.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there you go.
What a block off the overhead. You know what? If it don't work once, try again. Big Will gets another round.
Yeah, I wonder what Yoshi is going to do because now Big Will's defensive option in terms of like Abari and mashing is always 5P into parry. I wonder what's going to be the adjustment now after that. Because if GC Yoshi does not call that out, I feel like Big Will's momentum is going to pay off so much in those scenarios.
Hey, coming through.
Going low now.
Yeah, great jump in there from GC Yoshi here. Going for the empty jump low.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Again, Big Will is definitely willing to put all the cards early on, and like that has to pay off now and not later, because the later this goes, GC Yoshi's game plan is just gonna be so strong because he hasn't shown a lot of the cards yet.
Yeah, we've seen that scenario earlier too, where GC Yoshi gets a big life lead, and then like Big Will tries to use like the gun super to try to like get over it, but the float is just negating the whole scenario. GC Yoshi, yeah, forcing out that burst.
Yeah, and just again, that counter hit was from that 5P, so I already know that Big Will's defense option is always going to be 5P and carry. I just want to I'm curious what GC Yoshi's going to do to stop that. That's really important information to kind of recognize. There you go, see, parry again. Offense use that option mix that up in 5P. Going to probably do super right now when they get a chance to. Not going to get a chance to whatsoever.
Not, yeah. What an anti-air call out there from GC Yoshi's side. And now the card, it's in the graveyard, man.
Yeah,
that card ain't working anymore.
Banished.
We got a mill.
Banished.
Banished.
Yeah, you need morphine jar, you know?
GC Yoshi's here trying to summon Exodia, trying to make sure he gets into that top 8. Looking good so far. Looking really dire for Big Will, meaning he has to use the burst again. We're going back to that same old Saga dance here.
Oh, wow. Remember I told you about that game plan that Will was going out? I think now that the longevity of it is not looking too good, it's not looking it's looking
it's
very,
not foolproof.
Yeah, it's looking very daunting right now. So match point for GC Yoshi right now.
I think it's a statement to how GC Yoshi just playing. There's that jump test we've been kind of looking for here.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more of those just to kind of represent.
Yeah, and like I think also too, I want Big Will to have a little bit of like defensive structure in terms of dealing with stuff, because I think GC Yoshi is starting to pick up how they want to get away with and deal with things. And it's like 5P or parry, and like those parries is not working out as we speak.
Coming down there to the wire here. GC Yoshi looking so good. He's spending the overdrive. A last hit scenario, has a lot of tension, has a burst. We'll see what can make it happen. This is so difficult too. Yeah. You can try to FD dash block here, but it seems a little bit dubious. GC Yoshi gonna be making top 8. Shout out to the old boys doing it big.
Yep. Yeah, it was good stuff. And like I said, pick them apart. And like, this is the prime example that I think that separates like the players. It's like, you know, you're showing those options that you're willing to like, you know, put it all in these scenarios for one game. You know, you want to put those cards all in when it wins you the set, you know, and kind of change that tempo later on rather than just having it early on. And then your game plan is like, let me step back fully and try to like think about what I'm going to do. But with an archetype like Batman, it's like, great. I get to be full screen too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
while you're thinking, I'm just turning over here.
Yeah, I'm running my flow chart. You know, my mid-range flow chart, right? And that's kind of what happened, and I think it tore Big Will apart. And I think that Yoshi kind of understood the assignment and took advantage of that, and that's why Yoshi's in top 8 losers right now.
It's one of those things, once you find something that works on your opponent, it's just like until they have a couple of answers. Because we already saw one answer from Big Will. We already saw that wasn't like the long con, right?
Yeah.
And because he wasn't able to like adapt and rotate quick enough, that was a wrap, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of being a wrap, we're almost about to have a wrap here on our top 24. Only a few more matches. And you know what? I got my fingers tapping here because I'm excited for this match. Simpu Kai is coming back to the stage.
Yes. So, you know, Testament and who else we got here as well?
We got Brone. So Brone,
okay.
The last bastion here on our side for Anji also has Deadman as well. So we have 2 characters that they could potentially pick.
Wow. So Bedman and Andre. That is such an interesting combination.
It's an interesting duo.
Like, I'm trying,
you try to wrap your head
I
around
had to
that
process it. I was like, I mean, like,
what'd you say?
Yeah, I was like,
So we're going to see these, no matter which one, I think we feel like we don't see these matchups too often, right?
We don't. First of all, we don't even see a lot of Testament. Right. And we don't see a lot of Bedmans. And now we're going to potentially see both of these characters battle it out. And I feel like we're going to be, it's literally going to be like an actual like Halo Wars fight where like you're going to be seeing mad projectiles back and forth.
You've been speaking my language all day.
Yeah.
I know we're from the same generation.
Yeah, you know, it's like all you're going to hear is just a bunch of projectiles like battling it out. And like, you know, in this language, I would say Testament is the arbiter. You know? But I gotta say, I think Anji will be a better pick. Because
no, I definitely agree.
I think Anji will be a better pick only because of the speed that Anji brings that makes Testament players want to be a little bit more preemptive than reactive. And when you start getting Testament more on the preemptive side, I think you get more mileage of the return of like your options on offense, especially because it's very like she's very good at like catching people that are like very standard, you know, like very standard type characters.
Like very stationary as well.
Yeah, stationary. That's
and I
the
feel
word
like Anji is a character built to be pretty proactive, so I definitely agree. Using his like built-in like burst options to kind of get around that too. Now Anji does suffer from like reversals and whatnot, but you know the Gulp Super is a little bit on the slower side, so might not have to worry about that too often. But the thing about Brown, he kind of has some of that. What's that Japanese Anji? Jiro?
Jiro, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of has some of those Jiro-isms you might kind of see come out in this matchup here. But, you know, I spoke a little bit too soon. We are going with the Bedman, so you're seeing another bed. Let's see how this one fares. Oh, we potentially could have two beds in top 8. Or will simply stop that right here.
Or Testament is going to be like, nah, we're going to have one bed. 6B already going through the projectiles already. So this is going to be a very, very hard match for Bedman, I feel, just because, again, it's a very easy target, and the Crow can hit in the air automatically just by just inputting the move. So it's going to be very hard dancing around like those options, but not impossible, I feel.
Yeah, definitely not impossible, but you're going to have to work, I feel, twice as hard as you're already seeing. This bed is already starting to fall apart. You do have Stain State here, and of course, that is the new buff we got. Stain State pop off the throw here, and that is quick work.
That is such a strong asset.
Simple Kai looking strong already.
Yeah, that is so strong. I can't believe the fact that like no one talks about that having that throw off Stain.
You can't take the throw anymore.
Yeah, you can't. Otherwise, I mean, you could.
You could.
Yeah, you could.
You can still calculate the risk reward, but I feel like when you're a character with like not much health to give, like Bedman.
Yeah. You know, you definitely can't just sacrifice health. You know. Wow, good 2H there.
Hey, I like the crossover attack. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of differences here from GC Yoshi in terms of just going for these like different aerial approaches, but you know what? Suzu just has to run their kind of similar game plan here, and it's working pretty well.
Yeah, I think the difference though I see from Bruin like and GC Yoshi is that GC Yoshi use a lot of jabs, a lot of jump Ds,
5Ds, right?
A lot of jump Ds and things like that. And I think Bruin is like more willing to like preemptively like 16, you know, like commit with jump S and things like that. Don't try to like sneak in, just kind of like go like forward more with the game plan. And I think that can work sometimes, but it's very hard on a character like this because man, like you know, Testament they're very slimy. It's very hard to like catch them. You see, and that was a really good throw right there. Good recognition.
You know, honestly, they probably were watching Simpu's games earlier because they relied on that strategy early on. So a great call out like that kind of shows like genius at work.
Yeah, you know, they watching the chat. We watching the tape. You know?
They ain't burned yet.
Yeah, they ain't burned yet.
Teleport in place. I like that. Here's Simpu activate kind of like that level 1 game plan.
Wow, onto the side, getting trade. This is actually really good now. Now I have that laser. That laser is going to put in mad work. Ooh. One more? Oh, no, unfortunately not one more. Wow.
PRC for PRC here. No more tension on both sides. Have to play that kind of more. A little more honestly, what am I talking about here? We're going to the zoning game.
That's game.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, what a pickup coming out from Simpu here. And we get that scenario where we're full screen here, and Arbiter sign gets off the table because the projectile there on Bedman's side becomes a little bit more potent.
Yeah, very potent. Okay. All right. A lot of neutral going on. Again, you remember when I was talking about jumping in the air and how the Pro just easily gets that? That's what's going to make this matchup so hard because Bedman don't have a traditional dash. So more stationary, very easy for the Pro to kind of do his job. And this is what's the scenario that it's going to be in where it's very, very hard to kind of force an option that is like this offense right here in this mid-range. But getting close is very important, especially when you have your error codes playing. But again, the matchup is a little too rough to just deal with. Very impressive character testament in this patch.
Yeah, we're in quite a rough spot here. Yeah, using these like half-charge Reapers as well just to lock down Bedman. This is just so difficult, it seems, for Brown here. You are now 2-0 there on Simpu's side. Do you switch? Do you bring out the energy?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Oh, well.
Yes. Otherwise,
maybe in a different timeline.
Otherwise, you better have like the coldest. You better have like 5 jokers, 10 aces. You know,
you better hope the big blind ain't gonna stuff you either.
Yeah. A lot of hoping. Okay. Nice block.
Okay, we're waiting out the storm here. Brown trying to get comfortable.
Yep, throwing the Pro.
There's that jump S we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Able to kind of like be a little positive on hitting those a lot more as time goes by.
Yep. Nice tech on the throw. Oh, going straight into the super right now. Going to get a lot of corner carry. This is really good. Are they going to break the wall? Yes, they are.
Ooh, yeah, and the extension looking really good there on Simpu's side. A lot of meter there, and a lot of resources just for Brown. If you're able to use the course, full screen, if you're just waiting for me, I'm going to use this install and get free neutral, honestly.
Oh.
Free neutral.
Yeah, free neutral. This is exactly what we want. I think keeping the corner would have been very important right there because you know the moment you send this character far away, the matchup and the mid-range is going to be very, very hard to play.
I mean, you guys, you can see here how hype it is in the background. That's what you get here at Slashback. And of course, that's what you get here between Simpu and Brother going back to that zoning game here. And there's that crow you're talking about earlier, Kizzy K.
Yep.
They get that same spot when he does get the Arbiter side.
Yes, and I like that they opt to keep him in the corner just to get as much damage as possible in a great situation right here. And now they're going to be able to break the wall and have a lot more damage and stain with a hard knockdown. It's a very scary scenario.
Wow, I like that. Using that 5 he did interrupt between the Crow call. Now Brown is in the driver's seat. Let's see if we make it happen. Bombhead coming out.
Did the slowest haymaker, you know?
I mean, that might be a statement.
The whole bloodline was behind that, you know?
Yeah, it seemed like Simpu was kind of deer in the headlights.
Yep, but hey, man, Brown keeping with his cards and looking very good right now.
And the install coming out once more.
Yep, a lot of unibeams now. Ooh, just like that.
The unibeam,
Yep.
the rail cannon.
The rail cannon, yep.
And that's what worked the first time. It's going to work one more time. Bro is staying alive here. So maybe rely a little bit more on using that install until Simpu has an answer.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like I said, they've shown a little bit more different approaches in the mid-range, and I think that's playing a lot of good role for Brown.
Hey, we're seeing a lot more stalls come out from Bro too, just to kind of like go over the obstacle course that Simpu is throwing out. And speaking of which, yeah, the teleport just to meet him halfway. Yeah, it's that mid-range we're kind of looking for here, but we have to get in that scenario. We're playing full screen.
Yep. I like the JD to kind of force them way to go down to avoid the Pro. I really like the decision that Brown is going, using deflect shield just to kind of keep full screen as much as possible. And I think Brown feels confident in this at that far range than Simpu does. That was a good conversion. Wall break is going to go for super. No, unfortunately can't reach that high.
A little too far away here, but maybe we can close it out. We are in that same scenario. We could spend install right here and take this round.
Yeah.
We have to be very comfortable about it.
Yep, get 6B there, make the block.
Sneaky, fake the high, go for low.
Good to fake out. That was a good fake out right there. Very,
I got him.
very cheeky, yeah, very cheeky Brown. But I think Brown is like willing to play a little bit more of a keep out. But I think this is good. You see how they're like baiting, keeping out. They're not really going super aggressive like they did before. Really good.
Arbiter sign gets caught here, but honestly, you're chilling here. If you're Brown, you do have the health lead here, but okay,
wow,
gonna take it.
The back dash with the 2H. That was really good.
Okay, install coming out one more time. Gonna get probably an instant wall break here immediately. Oh no, gonna keep the corner.
Oh my God, that's a guard crush.
That was a good call.
That was guard crush. That was crush.
I'm gonna say it with a little finesse.
Crush. That was. I felt. I heard the bones crushing. All of that. That was crush. Dang, that was great.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Crawled it back.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I guess they had the aces and the jokers. You know, they had the cards. Maybe we didn't.
They had us full, man.
Yeah, maybe we didn't see his full hand. Yeah, maybe we didn't see the hand.
He had a card in his pocket.
He was Yu-Gi-Moto, you know. Didn't know I had this Karibo.
Oh, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
I got the Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah.
I saw through your cards.
Yeah. Nice
But
stuff.
we're seeing Simple here with the Millennium Eye being seen through the facade. Gets a good lead.
Yep. Nice pressure there. Keeping them blocking. Oh, top mashing. This is really huge. I think they're going to build 50 meter for that to put them in the loop. Putting you in the matrix right now. Now you got to deal with the same scenario again.
Yeah, what a fantastic here start from Simple. Turning the whole dynamic on its head. You can't rely on those kind of things you rely on in the earlier matches with the install here. But you could get a back throw incident from Brone. Or, you know what? It looked like a good idea. I'll try it myself.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I like that idea. Let me do that.
I'll steal that.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
What was the copy card?
Freaking not change of hearts. It was, dang, man, you put me on the spot.
Is it just copycat? I think it's just copycat.
I think it's copycat, yeah. It's copycat, yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay, but we're potentially on game point here. Okay, other side, nice. I like the IV on the dash block. Teleport coming right in.
Try to call out that teleport with 5H did not play out as they wanted, and this is really bad. Bad situation for Brone.
The corner carry coming out from Simpu as well. Now I wonder if Bro's one to like kind of just activate pretty soon.
This is might be game.
This might be game. Yes, it will be there. Simpu will be making it here to top 8. And well earned. What a fight to get there here. Like I mentioned, they had won the Flying Quest Fight Series before, and they're going to be continue to win, getting here the top 8. Congratulations.
Yeah, man, that was a good match. You know, Brone came all the way down 2-0, made it 2-2, and again, made that adjustment. And I think they probably didn't have enough cards yet, and didn't place up. But that was a good match. I think that was a good match, good adjustment for Brone. Right. Kind of playing like a little bit more of that mid-range. And I think when they were trying to call out the dashes or the teleports, I think they were using a lot of like big startup decisions. And I think sometimes you gotta just kind of steal it with just a jab, sometimes with a kick. It's, you know, because the timing in those situations is not going to always be the same. So you want to, sometimes you gotta want to be like, I'm not sure, let me use something that's fast and consistent. And I think in that scenario, they were like, let me go big or go home. And it makes sense, especially when you're on a comeback, you're feeling confident, things like that. But you gotta make those small adjustments. Those very micro adjustments is very, very important of dealing with like a good player that has good offense and good like mid-range control.
It's one of those things where it wasn't a shutout either. So like, you love to see games that kind of go the distance here.
Yeah.
And let's see if this game also goes the distance. This is our last here at top 24, last spot for top 8.
Really?
Yeah, so we do have Kermit, of course we saw here earlier against Apology Man, and we have Afo. We talked about Gold Lewis. What am I saying?
Gold
Seven
Lewis.
fingers, he's here.
Yes, Thanos snap, I am inedible. And you know, I'm just letting you know that Thanos is a very strong individual. And I'm assuming anybody who gives them the torch of another Thanos means that this individual is nothing to sleep on. And I'm telling you, Gold Lewis is definitely going to make any biking player wake up. And I think we're waking up right now. Oh, you better wake up now.
Yeah, honestly, we're already off to the races here, throwing out the Thunderbird here to try to gain the neutral. And like, if you guys haven't been really in the know, the fact that like the last patch, like the security gauge does take a little bit to start up, but it does go a little bit faster, so you can get those B2 cancels a lot more. Those are gapless too.
Yeah, very gapless. I think this matchup right here is not so bad for biking, only when you have to block.
Yeah, if you're already blocking, you're kind of stuck there. But you can, like, on reaction to some of these BTs, do parry or kind of mash on here. But you get to find those opportunities. And right now, Kermit has found a lot of opportunity.
Yep, I think my OGG might kill. Oh, no, don't go for the kill. Oh, try to go for the throw. Yeah,
what did Jay Wong say? You reach, I teach.
Yeah, you reach, I teach. That's a really good way of saying it. Okay, using a lot of Kabari. 6 H's to catch the jump. Wow, good IBSD into the jump D right there.
Whoa, that was kind of swag. Okay, the double coffin.
Yeah. Here we go. This is where the situation is really
Fuzzy.
bad.
Wow, incredible blocks coming out from Kermit as well. He's being stuck in the corner. And of course, ooh, did he get the full brunt of the risk? Okay, we clean up.
Just like that. All on block. The moment you got a block, that's when it gets really, really bad.
Okay, early burst. Did not want to take the early damage too. Burst to burst, already gone. Wow. No one wants to get hit.
Yeah. That was a good scout of catching the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt was just about to come out and scouted with the jump S right there. Really good.
Okay, I'm going to break the wall here too. Great lead there on Kermit's side. Let's see if we can play around the jump deal door. Speaking of a jumping button, jump S to kind of take it to you. So he will.
Yeah, that was really good, dude. I really like that game plan, keeping it really smooth, really effective. Just gotta avoid being in that bad scenario where goal Lewis want to put you in. But like really good with the jump S's, stopping the Thunderbolt, throwing Kabari preemptively out just to make them feel like they have to jump E a lot. Really good performance of Kermit.
And I like that way to stall out the Thunderbird by putting out the tatami mat as well. Meet him air to air. Kermit now already taking more than half health away from Alpha.
Yep, get a full combo off that. And this is what I mean about Viking's type of like pros that she has as a character. Like this scenario is such a great thing to have because now you're like, I know Go Lewis don't have anything crazy unless he has 50 meters. So let me put him in a situation that he wants to put everybody else in.
Now that's making sense in terms of like going for these early bursts, right?
Yeah.
To kind of like to make sure that we stay in the lead because that's how we're gonna win this matchup here. Okay, tatami, Oppo not body on, but we are tethered. That's a win count we're seeing again against the full combo off the throw because of it.
Yep.
Thunderbird. I like the idea.
I like the idea. I think it was a little too preemptive, but I like the idea.
I thought overhead was coming.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, nice block on the cross up too. That ain't easy.
Nice, good scout with the jump S and then hit the firm with the dash. Got a conversion off of it. Good blocks. Man, Kermit's defense is so solid in this round right now. Oh, and then you get frame trapped. You know
what? It was looking pretty good there for Kermit in a second. I think his idea was he was going to wait out the storm, wait for the security gauge to go down, but I think he bite a little bit too soon.
Yeah. I mean, as a player, you got to make those decisions. So, and I think you got to be comfortable with those decisions, whether it's good or bad. Wow. I think those combos, you don't want to drop those combos. Those are very important combos to not drop.
Especially a character like Gold Lewis, which has a lot of health here. Yeah, turn the whole thing on its head. Jump D. Kermit's defense has been so good, but as I say, that gets popped. Has to handle the Thunderbird one more time here. Handle all this chip damage.
That's a lot of damage.
You tell me.
God dang.
This is a hard-fought battle.
Very hard.
And we have security gauge here, too. Yeah, even if he was able to block that, I feel like he can just go for the security cancels and just chip him out.
Yeah, honestly, in my head, the match was already over. Not because I don't think the player can make the comeback, but not having resources that much to block a move that auto chips.
It's no disrespect, it's just reality, right?
It's just a reality of things. You know, it's just unfortunate that's just how it works. You know, not a lot of FD to work with, and they had a lot of cancels, and they had meter to make it even safe. You know, or make it even more plus.
I gotta wonder if Kermit is just holding on to these overhead mix-ups. As I say that, it comes into fruition. Oppo now taking their turn back and getting a side switch, the double side switch. What am I talking about? Son, the damage.
Just one.
Hey, Thunderbird all the way full screen. I like the double jump to make sure we're getting into center screen.
Oh, just like that. You know, slowed it down. I like that they slowed it down a little bit so they don't get too crazy. Because you don't want to, like, when you have control, you don't want to give control up so easily with a character like Shigolo. They just do too much, you know?
Honestly, you're pretty in a good scenario here. No burst there on the opposite side and no tension, but Apple willing to fight back here, not being too scared despite the tension pumping there on Kermit's side here. And we're slowing it down again once more like last time. And it's still working out for him.
Yeah. Got a lot of life to work with. Oh, go into super immediately. Oh, that's unfortunate. They could have went to super earlier and try to remove the burst option, but I think they panicked, and I think they looked at the resources and started dropping combos. I know how that feels like a player. You know, we always have those mistakes here and there.
We are not out of the neck of the woods here. We still do have a burst here, but if you're able to get one big counter, this is how it starts.
Yep. Still got burst. They still got burst. It's okay.
Overhead. Oh my God.
Still got burst. Oh wow. They wall broke after that. Interesting.
God, I hope it doesn't come back to bite you. PRC back, the clash, and it doesn't work out. What a cancel into the BT. Apple staying in here.
Kermit got to keep their composure after that unfortunate situation right
Yeah,
there.
I hope it doesn't break his spirit, right?
Yeah, I hope it does not break his spirit. Oh, it might have broken it. It might have broken it. It might have broken it. The Holy Ghost.
I don't want to call time to death here. I don't want to put him in the casket just yet.
That might be the most unfortunate situation to lose. You still got to bounce back. Still got to have some heart.
6 feet from high up.
There's so many resources there. It's not good. Just like that.
One thing you mentioned early on in one of the early matches was the use of far side. I feel like in that scenario, when we were seeing Apple kind of match like 5P and 2P on defense, that he can maybe catch him lacking.
Yeah.
But I think Kermit is starting to get a little less confident as time goes by.
Yeah, a lot of no confidence at all, and I think now they're hesitating, and I think what happened that last game, I feel like that they're really second guessing themselves. Nice jump on the jump D's there. Them jump D's paying the bills right now. Oh, now we're just getting hit.
God.
Yeah, this is not good. And these hits, the Gold Lewis players, they love it. They pray every night for these opportunities.
Oh my God, yeah, the hammer of dawn coming out. We talked about Hiller, and there's the grab. There it is. Oppo, he is on fire right now.
Dude, just like that. All because of that comeback. All because of that comeback right now. Well, definitely recommended if you want to go to character select.
All I gotta say, Kermit, this is where good players become great players.
Yes.
When you can clutch it out.
Yes, you need to build characters. Here we go. Oh, good block on the cross-up.
That's telling. If you block up the cross-up overhead, but you didn't block up that overhead, there it is. Kermit, okay, he's not out of this yet. That second win coming back in.
Yeah, and I like that combo. That combo is very cool. I like that combo. I like that approach. Get these hard knockdowns, spin the super, go for the throw. It's over.
A perfect is a great response. It's a great start.
Yeah, it's a great start.
We can start pushing the rock up the hill.
Yeah, you know.
Gold Lewis being the rock.
Yeah, the engine is going now. Nice. They're using 5P a lot. I like that. Use a lot of fast pokes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You want to escape. That was very risky, but it worked out and amazing. Something that you definitely want, because if Gold Lewis would have did 6P, that would have been trouble.
And really,
the
answer from Oppo was just to swing off of BTs. Yeah, that's what we've been looking for, right?
There you go.
And then jump S2, looking up all aces there from Kermit. Gets the tether as well.
Super. Oh, super RC. Oh my God. Here we go. This is bad.
This is so bad.
Got a parry.
It's not over yet.
Oh, they used it. Okay.
That was such a good wild assault there from Kermit.
Still alive though.
The scaling is so rough on this.
Oh my God. Oh my.
That was the answer I've been looking here for the jump D, and what a well-timed play 6P coming out from Kermit. Staying alive here. That's what I want to see here at Slashback.
Man, it really
we
felt
clap back.
It really felt like we was playing Russian roulette. Oh, that was options, man.
2 apiece, but you have it any other way.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I'm sitting here enjoying this as a spectator. Nice.
Well, somebody about to go into spectator mode here in a second.
Somebody
we got one more game to play.
To the back of the line. Somebody going to the back of the line. Nice, bro. Dang, Kermit changed the time really fast.
Tommy. Oh, the RC part. That was such a good call here. Oppo starting to swing a lot more.
Look at his life. Look at life bar.
No way.
Yeah, look at life bar.
Some of the highest damage you're going to see in the game, if not the.
Just like that, we're even.
A flex shield. Jump pass is such a good start.
Uh-oh. Gold Lewis got meter.
Yeah, super scared. I'll be scared at level 3. Or excuse me. Hit big overdrive.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the crowd is coming alive here for your boy here in California.
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta keep it copacetic. What a call out on the reversal throw.
Yeah, and this is for top 8 losers right now. Alpha is looking like they are about to make it to top 8 right now. This scenario is a top 8 scenario, just like that. Just like that.
Just like that, Alpo has made their first ever top 8 here at Slashback here, and Gold Lewis has made it in. The big boys are alive, and the crowd is loving it. But man, I gotta give some flowers to Kermit. He fought a hard, long battle here, but sometimes, snap.
All good things come to an end, like they say, man. And that was, again, that was a very, very stressful match because I feel like the tides really turned the moment that comeback clash and they did Behemoths.
Yeah.
When that happened, everything fell like the whole kingdom.
The room fell silent.
Yeah. The kingdom, and then the crowd got loud, and it just.
He was like had to build his house back up when he got halfway through the house, and then go Lewis knock it down again to all the blocks.
Yeah.
Like actually, man.
Yeah, just kicking it all down to all the Legos.
Kicking the sandcastle.
Yeah,
you know?
kicking the sandcastle. So,
but Gold Lewis, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal that you made top 8 here at Slashback, and that's gonna be the last match here for top 24. Man, it's been such an honor here, and you, of course, stay tuned. You got 2 very valuable commentators coming here in Avian and Dr. No. That's SoCal and NorCal going to be on the comms here. Of course, I've been for Shaw, Kizzy K. It's been a pleasure, man. Get last words?
Yeah, you know, we got 2 other top 24s happening. We got Grand Blue and Under Night as well. That's going to be going as well. So stick around and watch some great fighting games. And it was a pleasure of commentating with you,
yes,
man.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah.
Love it. Been a beautiful time here. We're going to enjoy the rest of our Slashback, but we're going to be kicking it off here very soon.